Etiefo adofo me mamajo eba nokware no nie adwumadie so na momfa ncha ye se ya chance entem na ye try say ye de medium foforo ede beye na nka bibia akọwa no inti no ene ye guest eye still honorable Bernard Odro Techi a obia nim se bakasa oya ade pa na ebre na akoni nti no yebe koso na ya hyase ese mi hu no ewo so a na mede no atoso na waba efise me request no se be ya obeba nti no migusu a me yese de me ye ne daa no onya folope na oberem a ya anya rehearsal fise kiede ade foforo ana kiede ba berem nanso eno no entimi anye yedi a ene na show no e wo se ekoso na me hu se Dr. Lawrence join ana Uncle Benjamin KPABITEY esoso ajoin me ma obi bia akwa ababa no kware ni adwumadie no so na ansa na no meda etiefo ase eni adofo ase se eye duade ye enyankopon de afe ba akoka me fie ho na enya asem ketwa adofo edam etimi wish me happy birthday intino mi gusua na yahwe se OBT etimi join na yafa no na onyama ye die me wo ensemfo a me ne Ghana fo ene adofo beche yese me ono kra ya me icon na ye fe no reggae superstar me oye superstar kire say oni Bob Marley mo ene sa big reggae artist no ana si so a omo hyase Bob Marley and the Wills nyina na Alpha Blondie na owo ho a one wo mu ewo anyonkofa na on the 10th ya na me di me birthday no reggae superstar a free Ivory Coast a ono akra no oye peace ambassador to Ivory Coast ECOWAS for na no inti no Alpha Blondie edi asem bi ato ECOWAS che nanim na wamfa na ani agoro wabobọ na adwena mane papa na asam a wono afri na no ne bi kan o kan wo ni Facebook wo say January 10th no or say you will not make Malians pay for the errors of the political of your policy from your bogus AU start with puppets. Asemi okan emu odupa na kire say enya asem ketwa ne sana Alpha Blondie esa kire mu a e kan say o say president of ECOWAS obi animu no so oye Ghana president oye president of Ghana ono aso na ye o say enam say Malifo no and collaborate or refuses to collaborate with the French army that they appeal to Russia for say omo emeboa omo no anama ECOWAS president no ama enkrofo bi to say French for no detective edi amano say o mekeka sansam no so wode sanction ato omo so ene ade inti no onyumtuni ye friend no Alpha Blondie oye superstar o say one no enye adwene na ontimi ene one ne ya adwene susu a enye ye efise ye president ye Akufo-Addo so onka na no ntum onka na anu mpawdo e kire say ade no enam se ono ama French for na detective mano ana okoka kire malifo inti we ne nsam ene emu bia eye ekoso owiase a eye breaking news Alpha Brandy ebobo na adwene de ma ECOWAS chair no ana mede ato etiefo no na yensemre no migusu a metwen sese honorable odro ebetimi ajoin ne ana so ontimi join ne dia enne na mehwe plan B because ye baby e koye no otimi join ye na minima de kronti a ahaidie akwa basa mi hunu ne mpo ana mede na to so inti no omo wo so a omo ye available no me try say mede omo to so na mahwe nti oba na eja ne mpaboa no ya ro de amana Uncle Ben mede o to so kire say menim se obetimi ajoine anase ontimi enjoin ntimi gusu a mi hwe screen no so join dia mede ebema no aben no abe join na messages bebre enkrofo bisa na ebisa se ede na asi de asi no ana muhu no na ye try the other way enso so entimi anye yi enkrofo bisa na ebisa inti ye gusu a ye oh asam wo asam pa mami use Facebook live no etiefo monfa nche ye said ye ne da no sa na asi monfa nche modofo ba akopɛ inti no may try new idea wramu na anka eno ye easier for ye guest obt ese obewram invalid meeting o inti no ose link no enye adwuma biem inti sawte menka link ni nya adwuma nti o de mame enye no wahase ya emre ne ko 636 abo senso no ye be calling off ayen calling off na etiefo ehunu di omo be ye ya na me sheda ampe disappointment sa etiefo megusua me ade Dr. B onim topic no enso so minim so ye we sawote menka obe join Waslina TV no na wa baso etise de obi abaso ni bi no nti obaso a na chese wa join sa na ye ne we yen share link wo follow nipa no a unya uni nipa no unfollow a link na ana say nipa no nya wadan for Facebook a untimi maso inti sa na tie inti atie fo mekoso a na ma pamacho say mon fan chemi mon fan chemi na mi hunu die ekobium etiefo ene die minye bi da no me se meye ansha me call ne off na me dia ba awie ye ne enti no mesre tiefo se obi afa ncheme se ma share flyer na ma ba na anye fi se obi a me de no etusu bia no entimi adenti no me hwe kakra na se anye ya meje mu na mayo because my confused my confused say my confused because my planning for backup bia obi anim topic a ye be discussing ne nti eba ne sa pa na mepa ma chew say mode ebe che me fi say me wa ha enso so my ready mu amunim say me yare mpo no mitimi eba ye adwuma na sesi a meti ai die minim die ekoso bia biem nti etiesie nti no semenya obia an join a me call it off because emre ne koreko de minye ebida no eno ana me ya anye saade a ene na because nti atiefo daye ekopim Dr. B me da say
hello
waba nyakopon hira o se de bia no me ho kire me a na wawram e de amame me da say unimo hwe na wawram na topica nanka ewo yetrim se e be discuss ene eyi kind of bench mark ya e ho semsem ewramu na awotwe yi mu no eno ana ye beka ho nsem chese journalist for wo mo Ghana ha yes the role of journalists and secular media houses are in the nation building and accountable government yera eno na ekoso afiwe mu ana fi say journalist no ye hu ne say ase ya mo position bi intino omo ntimi enka aban na sempapa nempo no yekọ eyisu a ya na oko FM stations na yehwe a omo tai aban na chi no ana dọọsụ kese pa na omo nka bi matimamfo enam se aban no hye omafunu mu mantini di aban ne be ya enye na ewoso omo chirekire mu kire Ghana fo no omo nchirem nti no edien na ohwe a ekoso ewo man mu a ama no abasa
IMMA-ADIZA utimi nkabe
pepa cho mete onka
we metia etiefo ni adofo no nyina omo di be che say the main person I say Obano want me and be joining me cry no baby maso aisha mininam no I will only do my very best to speak to the issues and I hope say viewers need your friend is saying followers of this program no almost or more contributions by way of text in NIE will also go a long way to enrich the program. And on that note, no, mechia omunina say mahun say manya he say me Danfo Bako, who is also very vibrant. Sebano, NDC Communications in Myanmar, the one and only Dr. Lawrence Mahuse, he's also watching. May take this opportunity to welcome him to Ghana and to wish him all the best. Happy New Year, big brother. And one kasa IMMA-ADIZA su. Say Anchebiana, yeti say who celebrating birthday, and it was all over the place. Ufaha, happy birthday. Ufaha, happy birthday. Say birthday, media. The only thing that was missing is your movie anya invitation card. You better join a party. Yeah, Bisaya, Kadi, Ebebo, Omudi wefa boat so Ediaba, Amba, the Bejina Kwan who say Ebiana, Uber for the invitation card, Beba, Moto be a Chamana Mishe. But in all, no, Yeda Yankupansi say what the Afibaku, Abeka, Unfio, and we will pray that will help me. Will be with your two and this one, and see will pet now, young fine yam and share radidim. And on that note, Medina will be our name. I wish you once again happy birthday, and may the years ahead be even more fulfilling. Yeah. IMMA-ADIZA, me tie o topic no ana o question no here. Say me deviate ana o di me back to track, because
me picture you.
Say it has something to do with appointments onto various boards by this administration. Now, the amount for SSL or Muti as he said, on mind bono, unhia people of substance, unhia people with competence, unhia people with qualification, and you need people of integrity. Sa nyamain ena unhia se wo pese wo appointed a man for into particular position. Na say aban omatre over the years say nyamanye amagobo bosi omunfa enu enye omu benchmarks are obi meet those benchmarks now omudi amano post to be and now omudi na to TPA so na yes you end up satisfying people, who party followers, your foot soldiers, your bootlickers, because they help in one way or the other in during your campaigns in Myanmar. But USR, it is the country that suffers in the long run. And it's a very important say. A minor year boom, Yankan who say a corporate Ghana. Say a corporate now. It embodies a whole section of people. It cuts across religion. It cuts across tribes. It cuts across a lot of, life spectrum. And Nuna is say, soul searching to see if people are really qualified for a particular job. But this second term, is a term to build a legacy. And say, Omu use this term to be a thank you term, where Omu that amount for us by way of giving them certain positions. Because in Kofobi Breaya Omu say Omu Beye was it called Yedi Biakotu Ghana Airport Board su Yedi Fawe and now to board way su, and in all, who say some of the journalists who played roles in getting this government into power, a lot of them are the ones who are being favored. Ebini Sefakan, Paul Adumwachre, and a host of them, Okreku Mantenu. All those commentators are more background. A lot of them are being satisfied in one way or the other because some of them contributed during the campaigns in Yama. But the point is, do they have the requisite competence? Now, we have been told by the finance minister some time ago, say public sector is choked. All those unemployed graduates there are no vacancies for them, and that they should look elsewhere. So Ebani saying na opportunities better hoa. Young coffee amount for qualified all the competence, yet they have no jobs to fill in those gaps. We are falling on people who have already well-paid jobs. Now, Usha, it is like the media in disguise is being bought, because I don't see how Sefakan Nipola Dumochrinum will come to criticize the government, to bite the government, to bring the feet of the government to the fire of accountability, any transparency. And when Munina points to the facts, say, Nyama Bibre Envoye Ewa, and for them to get the nation moving by addressing needs of schools, hospitals, I mean, civil societies need, your friend says, civil servants need their kikan. Agitations are air banning in any your friend, the trade unions need your mind. Agitations are ban. Instead of them to find ways of addressing some of these needs, they have adopted the tactics of trying to kill public anger. And how would they do this? Yen create space no umbe painted the government bad. And a lot of these radio stations don't open up to critics who are very high, critics of the government. They wouldn't open up to them, and even if they have the opportunity on the set, they are gagged. A lot of them are not being given the chance to make their points as strong as they would have wished. All because in Krofonu moderated program, a lot of them are on the payroll of the government of the day. And topics be topics that will interest Ghanaians. They say nobody is asking, say, Yakotu Aba. We have people who don't have representation in parliament. They wouldn't make that a topic for us to bring government into the picture and ask them a lot of questions, hard questions, say, Ebani saying, and these people lack representation. All the things that are happening are illegal, so far as even parliament is concerned. They will even ensure, say, they will empanel people that will come and speak to favor the government of the day. Or even if people are there to criticize them. Omubeye panel, in a sense, say, one kasano, as you are present, but your views are absent. And I think, say, what is happening now, we say, they must understand, say, no matter how much you invest into trying to kill public utterances, and then with advent of social media in their mind, people will have alternative way of making their voices heard. That is what is being lost on this administration. You almost say so close to radio stations. Now top so-called top journalists and our senior journalists in Myanmar, they will win the battle of public court of public opinion. Now, court of public opinion, and then you don't need GBC, you don't need UTV, you don't need TV3, you need the Kikankan. People just switch their own camera in the comfort of their bedrooms, will speak, and the world will listen. And that is what is being lost on them. And all this buying of journalists that post in Myanmar to keep them quiet and all these things. The ordinary Ghanaian will switch on the phone and will speak, and government will listen and will be forced to react to it. Until the OSO say they are fighting the losing battle. In fact, all that they are doing, it is I would describe it as they coming against a moving train. And certainly they will crash because people are really focused. A man for Ananka Kaneno, they would have been in their comfort zone or Munkasai. Some of them are forming groups. Ebini fix the Ghana movement here, Ninyama Ebaye. All these people are coming out to speak. And it is making government agitated. Omankasa said, the ills in society, you don't need a journalist to go into an area and bring to the world the bad roads that we have. If people are sleeping on the floor in the hospitals, and we have hospitals that ought to be built, and this government, Ayana Green said, dear Mama Beye Ninano will be left to rot. You don't need a journalist to go there and bring it to the world. And the woman said, as I said, all these appointments in Niamey, they are all job for the boys. And so our job for the boys, it is feeding fat on the public chest. Yesika a war, as I say, and creating avenues for some of these people to also come and, for sometimes for no work done. Obibe Bisa say, officer ya create a bit say office of the special prosecutor. All the budgetary allocations ni a dan ya ko hire man ni Niamey. In fact, so ben e free mobile. What have we gained as a nation? Yet every month we need to part away with colossal amount to pay the officer there, his staff, take care of other Myanmar electricity need the vehicles in Myanmar now. And some of these things, who could share idea yedi setting up Yoko and idea yejina so they are setting up the office of the special prosecutor. You come to the realization, say it is duplication. It is Bibia ye war an institution clothed and giving them take care of all that we created that special prosecutor office for. And see, the whole issue has to be with the fact that say in Profoya, appointee woman, most of them are journalists. What are they bringing on board? Can we do cost-effective analysis on them to find out their productivity on board? Vis-a-vis car, monthly with allowances and what have you. And it is crystal clear, say, a creative job for the boys. They look out for people who have been in their defense. Dumotri, we have all seen what he has been doing for this government all over the years. And now, look at what is happening at the airport just this past Christmas. Christmas trees are prices are airborne. One would wonder whether this is a golden Christmas tree, whether the Christmas tree is made of diamonds. So, in Profoy, Nanka Yedio mobile office na commensurate development in their places of appointments. Anka amount for pra omu bobetu omu yem kakra. But the point is that they bring nothing on board. They only receive fat salaries, and this is the way President Nana Akufo-Addo, Bawumia-led MPP want to thank some of their, foot soldiers and some of their surrogates and what have you. And with that issue, Ghanaians must stand up and speak truth to power. Say, yes, every appointment should be merit, and we should measure their output to see, say, Sikana are we benefiting from their inclusion? And in the first place, if they are going to be included, are they the most qualified people to occupy those positions, or they are occupying those positions by virtue of the fact that they have, in one way or the other, helped the president? And if they want to give them certain positions, then it should be at party levels. Party organizer be more, and they will not have any qualms with that because it is party line. But national appointments, some of these people, I think, say a drafting law that will make most of these government appointees, omumbra through parliament, so that some of them will be vetted for us to test their level of competence, their level of know-how into the departments where they are being sent to. And my name said there is an attached question. I hope I say, would they come home? And I say, you're moving on because Emreno and Ankasano Ekodada.
I'm catch you intino said ye etieno na inti enam say aban no edi enkrofo ahyehyehye mu ntino amema omo juicy job for the boys ntino omo ntimi nka NOKWARE enkyere aban no efi say nanu ya Gabi asare otredako eso okota ebro no ebro ba ye 5 cities na che se wohwemu a president ne nkrofo no omunim de ekọ nti report man na wafa ne saa na ka osi dwomu a anka when a Greek minister ka meka say body edro baako 4 cities abra na saa me yeto ne be 30 cities here they call 50 cities internet say omo hunu say they don't feel what we feel no eno ane say omo assume say near mefo bibia ya okay without feeling it if they were wearing our shoes they would have felt what we are feeling or will see what we are going through. It's a kobani sa, nature say, abino, and nam say, omwa anke wasa omu kebitreno, emma na soteno, wamo omunina juicy positions. Intino emma ontimi expressing en kano krene wumtino kohu, na diene bukra or siachia. Nature say president to say me kwa KPABITEY ababeye intino nature say timemu enkrofo a was say anka omoka NOKWARE a nsɛm ni mu no journalist Emma nation building no ekonanim no omo ntimi nkasa nti Emma aban no esu hunu ede eko enu nti na NDC for besie ankeni kwase family and friends no yeye ankenye sanko ahu nti ye we so eba akwa ye beka no eye sa benchmark ya nanu ya me wona mfofo a omo ekra niema efri amanone omo sene boa ye den pa ya tutum basa empo na ye twam no obi anim sa aban we ansa na odi ade betudwa no na wadi kan implement dada inti no ye nya nete ssa benchmark mark no a e wosenka ote so no discount na e wo ho dada no a wo ba ya onumpo eye president ye vice president Baumia ebie na no gina simpie so e kan say what the 30% vikra or the so and sana ye can say general goods as what the 50% or so can just 2019 ya when to me afa koto anyen kwai chese ye ne yekodwom se spaghetti no ye tono 350 pesos minim baby aka de omoton ba ye ha de sa na omoton it see ye free wa anke be double the price and I say 3/4 plus the price na chese nke de ahokyira eni seso ana beba Ghana ha inti no enu no wo bibi ka fa ho ana sa benchmark ya etwa guoyi.
Yeah, IMMA-ADIZA we de midasi. On MPP for aban. Aban a omuka adi baako and they practice the opposite. Niama omu be shebo say yeba yebeye we no. Ni nyina akoye adada bi. And for them no normal ma say omutimi ka bibia omu pe bia efa omu ho di aban we omu ba ya pe ena omu si omatititi taxes bi so ewo habo omu first budget omu ye omu friend no asempa budget ema for the first time in our history ubehu amanfo from Abuso Kain from Swame magazine omu nyina bo si ebinom di powder gu omu hu se abanyi aba ama omu chese ebi esumbada ena ye nyama omu kan wo budget. When you go into the details of the budget and visit the harbors no, it is not as it is being painted out there. There be omunti ye ya ban no embo modi na omude aba omudi asempa abre amanfo ko habo ho a omwankasa estati press conference after press conference, interview after interview can say there be nyama nko yi wo port ho prices ni nyama no ko suru more echire no nkrofo kra omu hwe haboso omu besisan wo mu ekofa amanfo different bi bae enusu ni nsem bebre e bae. Now that things are even trying to stabilize still omu policies ni nyama no it turns out say omu are desperate. NOKWARE woman is say aban no ankasa no aye desperate. And what is driving this desperation? It has to do with the fact that aban ankasa no they have mismanaged the economy. Economy no so far. Their books are not looking good. They are finding ways to balance their books, their expenditure ni sika bani niamanu there is a great gap which is complete mismatch when it comes to economic management. And in order to close that gap, omu ye di ombe ye bia to ensure say omu be twinsika ediabre aban. After they have mismanaged, they have overborrowed themselves. They say omu won say wa dika ufaha wakoji ekawaha wakodi kawaha. And the bedroom rebel unni baby or befa because ufaha yebe obibedi uka faha obeka se misika woni. And they have been crowded out. Ebanu physical space, they don't have it. And that desperation now or mukitano, there is even mounting pressure on them because all the public institutions, say university teachers, say Ghana Medical Association for, say Gunta for, say then every sector of the economy is crying for attention, is crying for better conditions of service. Now you can conditions of service now boils down to money. Now sikana omudibe rule or mine, they just don't have it. Meanwhile, they are the first people to mount platforms and give big promises. Promises that Omankasa name in their minds of minds and in their heart of hearts say they cannot deliver. And the reality is dawning on them, say, look, it is not even about the promise, because promise to build this, promise to build that, they say 111 million or more coming in or money say they cannot deliver on those promises. Now, Sesiano, Sika Yelibet to your workers, any your friend is saying common fund they are struggling to meet those conditions. And they are looking everywhere and looking at anything that they can hold on to draw money from. And it's almost Omunim say benchmark values are here back. That is giving some breathing space for importers. Omu pese omu seal that gap so that they envisage say omu seal that gap now. It will give them some revenue. And for them, no can ombeka cho say aban hiasika edi ayempuntu, aban hiasika edi ayewe and way. But what they forget, they say, ukoye nyamabia, you need to do cost-effective analysis. Adina mi okay, ebia edi 1 million Ghana nebe bremi. But the suffering how you impose on traders, what is the cost of that suffering? People whose business will be affected, what will be the cost? So you look at that cost, the effect of what you are doing, the revenue you stand to benefit, and match the two. That is what we call cost-effective analysis. And it's a ocean from one angle, say, your close gap here at the 1 million bebre, and you don't look at the other side of the coin, say, so 1 million here, but it will prevent some people from doing business the more. Ebema omu productivity akolo, and in the long run, ebe affecting the economic big picture. Omu share sa cost-effective analysis. And one say, so far as edisika kakra be bro, they will move in because they are desperate. They have no clue as to how they are going to make more money. They have overborrowed, and they know say omu books it doesn't look good. In fact, all rating agencies in Omaka, Ghana, Bebia, Yejina, Sisiano, Yaba at the crossroads, and they have no idea as to how they are going to, overcome some of these hurdles at FSA economy. And the benchmark values here a war enye ade sonkon bia because udi wonyama ba u be kire say car yi mitonu at this price e be $500 na your friend is saying onu custom for no aba na see there be car yi there e be $1,000 so the difference no ni niamai omu behwe a omu experts a omu be value the real price a omu di be ma sa product no ana niama wa important. And these are the benchmark values, and on that values, on benchmark so edi ataxo. And when we na person cancel, thinking that omu canceller edi benefit be bre abine at the expense of the importer. But sena ye can importers na nkasa and our traders and our business people they are already suffering. They are already suffocating. Omu breadada. And in these times of COVID, businesses omu suffer in one way or the other. Abanya woye developmental oriented, woye production, or per se woy boost production. I bet you now grow economy. They would rather do things to make businesses more attractive. Ombeye niama ebema amanfo humbe ha kakra senebeya enti ebi wo ho a ye di tax breaks ye be ka cho say answer na ebe tax unu gise wo niama no a value up to a particular point answer na ya tax ni nyina no eboa ma traders no omuntimi edi omu ye ejuma ma mpuntu eba oman because the more omusu ye ejuma the more omusu ubetini attacking wo anya omu faso. But right from the word omudi point of entry udi taxes no ba bebre yes they will pass it on to the consumer no so say a minimum one ube say omutimi ntoni amanobio. And at the long run, it is the economy that suffers. Do things in moderation. Senebeya, the businessman, obetimi anya, the business running smoothly, whilst wusua we government nusu utiminya with taxes from the businessman. And if the business is going that way, omutiminya room for more employment, they can also grow, they can expand and take on more people. But as it is now, already the cost of doing business in Ghana is extremely high. It is unpredictable anything. And then utimiye budget say mikokraniama at this value namidi abagana. Now this is my goal. Say menya this projection say ubenya profit at this margin, only for you to come and see say your CD has fallen. CD no so are buying say omuhwe na enye stable. Senebeya it will help in the economic planning of businessmen, and also you have failed in that field of endeavor. And the woman say businesses can say measures now take it to reverse the benchmark values. You should revisit it, look at it again, do comprehensive cost-effective analysis as to how much government stands to gain and what does the trader stands to lose, and make comparison, compare and contrast, strike the average and see whether it is prudent. It makes economic sense. Say, ubetimi akotu sahana mon, and ehono yebe boyensem, and yada the communication officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, he championed this cause. He had strong conviction, say, of all the analysis of what this benchmark values entails, it is going to disadvantage the importer, the trader, the businessman, and the ripple effects of that. One say in business, no, you will be a friend domino effect. Ubo domino now, ubo say ana we are bowe, now we are bowe, now we are bowe. That domino effect will end up on the consumer, who is the ordinary Ghanaian, the ordinary worker out there. Because at the end of it all, it will going to fall on the consumer. Now, yes, that same consumer who is poor, who is deprived, that same consumer is being assured only 4% of increment about his salary. That same consumer, no, yejinu COVID tax. That same consumer, no, yejinu momo tax. That same consumer, no, taxes what you see bola tax ni na no, yes, sa e dia bonusu. And this is na wo kan. E binu ma omo beka kire say ejom bibia ye okay no. Those people don't feel the brand. The ordinary person, el commun, fuel prices are year 2 day in and day out. A drew time our drivers and Casacra call striking. Omun tinemubi, V8, Ubesheno, they are just overtaking you. And to Udu de Biana work actually. Uti utrotro moi now taxi moi, the V8 man will come and overpass you. Now on nim the ecoso. How you are struggling to even change gears to climb a hill. And the woman said they are so much detached from the ordinary Ghanaian. And they think that everything is going on perfectly. In fact, the MPPs are almost gathered at Kumasi. Now, some of the submissions are being to say, they paint a picture that Ghana aye and Nana Akufo-Addo ama yenhu bida. Meanwhile, on the ground, the suffering is real. The excruciating hardship is real. Na say you see ye bo Dr. Baumia insema okanya. It is even more real now than it used to be under Mahama when we were told that teachers are suffering, doctors are suffering, nurses are suffering, and whatever teacher trainees need a come. It is more real today than it used to be. Now,
all right, all rapon.
All rapon, one. I say, media rap, no, the bomb body, and can yes, and can miss me rap. Yeah, imagine that.
I can't imagine so. Trainees are suffering. I'm just someone.
Captain Smart, the new version back. Captain Smart, the new version back. Also, my bomb. And the woman said, they talk big, they promise so juicy, they say they promise heaven and earth, and on the ground, you know, in fact, Mama time, share obinum to say farmers say they got free fertilizers, and the fertilizer no, they are even smuggling some of these things, and premise fuel in Myanmar, they are just not available. Look at the schools, even common textbooks that teachers will need to teach the students new curriculum no, is just not there. And the Ombeyeni said they will hire these journalists not to make it a topical issue for it to be discussed and make the government look bad. And the Ombeyeni said they will employ some of these journalists, engage them. Now, Omuo saying, we say, if your mouth is full,
Medebako bista afem say, Paula Domotry, I said journalist say, yeah, chop, yeah. Na yeah nim Christmas tree ebuo se airport no se nam se enkrofo frabroche na eba o musi o enti na Saudi Christmas tree no ekosi airport nkwa eboa no timi ya opepepe chese ba kono o chirechire mu a wono a oba ne Facebook wo ewo enchiremu a wode baaye o kan se ye senpo eja ono ano wa yeseje mensa no ba ko o se ye 1118 wodi ba mu a 1000 wodi ba ene sika mu a na chese eye millions of ene cedis all cedis na millions ana ono asaba good evening Ghana obi anka no je mensa adamfo osade beto o say 128366 eye ono akro ya o je mensa abam 2 times ovie ya osan so say enye ono aka minim say airport ye tu kwan ye ba no otimi enkrofo timi be donate say besiesie o airport menti bida even ekura womo ye giving pa America omokra mo airport menye sure say ye the donation and besiesie American airport enye sa na tie say disaster aba owie ya osan so say 78,366 na seta wohwemu a jemensa aba mu 4 times itino papai yesu onkoye adwuma na ase yesu onkodidi efisa wo hwa ayese MPP aban no se ye ma odibia obi se kokko eye na chese scandal amamu a na chese nye na ekufu adona o appointed o na chese free MPP aban mu chese wo mu die scandal na die o mu di ehye edesra edidware just obia person oye di oye part of a scandal just every day one scandal to say you can say one district one factory one constituency 1 million no amasosa say one day one scandal one constituency one scandal one appointment one as a scandal na say echo into omodie ye correct Busta Rhymes na wabetro nyuma fa ho na eja wabo amai because ono ni di no orime pa inti no Dr. B die na onchiremu ewo sansem ya ekoso ne sen
one nkrofoi feel say sometimes yes smart and they think they can fool all
me ba chan krofo ben
me can MPP for
okay patch you
Osunu Amanyoko feel say yes so smart na sometimes ya dey na uchi then they throw in their communicators to come and justify, to come and defend. Now, in their defense, what they do is say, into the archives. Share Nyama, Omudi score equalization. Say, Yabu, kind of a. But the whole issue is very simple. Figures here who can it is trying or struggle to find justification for the amount spent. Now, as a who can one would have thought say, Adino Ehwaba Asemno. Transparent government that is so concerned, sensitive government. Asem say abeto hono. One would have thought say institution like the Kutuka International Airport. Omukoto pure water prana, they will have receipts because at the end of the year there will be auditing, and that auditing adibia wutoye, be it pencil prana. You need to account for it. And if this thing has become a public issue, I was thinking, say, a transparent government that listens to the people and wants to show transparency, wants to show incorruptibility, or the receipt of that Christmas tree, so that we can all see in black and white, say, this is the cost of the Christmas tree. So that what plus what minus what times what is made of that Christmas tree. Ni price bida. Omunim say chop bi akoso wo ho. A lot of people will come to say omudin bebam Crofwa ya contract wo say omunkoto sa Christmas tree. If we want to hold them to account, they will not be able to pass the test. Until all these figures here who say yediba every day changing figures. It is a struggle to justify why they have spent so much on just Christmas trees. Who did their MPP 4 year in Bass Brand? Who did their year in Asofoton, Nijida? Who did their year anytime the slightest scandal broke out during Mama's regime? This is an awokan. We have seen countless, yet mean kind view. Scandals are abba under this administration. And Chebia Ngofoi Omu scandal crana. Omu share what is involved. In Ngofo, Paul Aduochirinum, and all these people, Edu Kwesiada, Ombeka Kotina, sorry them, so Omu Sumyame. Some of them are even elders near the can come. But yewu ajinkwan. Ebinum fasa abrunya no. Edi ayi cash. Ajinkwan kra yewu no. Onukra will preach against corruption. If these people will look at even COVID amount for amount for amount for business collapsing. Omubeshe COVID to amass wealth. Omubeshe COVID akase yekwa koto vaccines amount and want to use $10 vaccines to come and charge $19. Ombefa COVID a charge antigen test at the airport at a whooping fee of $50 Ghana and ECOWAS citizens and $150 non-ECOWAS citizens are. If these people can go that far, then they can do anything to amass wealth for themselves and their families and their cronies. Because even if our environment will go rotten, for them party nyasika. And this a galamse ukrana we see more obianya or party the nyasika. And therefore for them they can spoil the environment to amass wealth for themselves and their parties and their followers and their bootlickers. And the manu nyo wawa say bro nya so amount for po for balloons ni nyaman. Oma fa ho pa say yokoto dua and give it such value. White House dua yedi to ho at the White House crown. I don't think it costs so much. And the bisani say receipt now ye issue when they bought that Christmas tree. Omufasa receipt from Betuja. And I expect Parliament to ensure say they bring those people who are involved in the purchase of that Christmas tree to Parliament to give account to the taxpayer how our taxpayer is being utilized, whether it is prudent, whether it makes economic sense, whether at these times obia esu se sika ni oman omo ankasa kura admiti say omo hia sika, and that is why ye can dey say we don't need momo tax. Sika omo ka say omo hia no nyina no aban no uhia revenue no, you ought to be financially disciplined. That will save you a lot of money. Now they are in Puntujuma. So it is not just about say Debiano, uji taxes, the taxes fufro eba, among for baby or business you are closing all those windows and gaps. Benchmark values in the mine upese ufa kwambisu na udiji omosika omankasa na omu bechiru omu. Meanwhile, your expenses so na eko se yehwe sika matwa ama government machinery, yehwe sika matwa ama Flagstaff House and I said Jubilee House. Not yet beside your own say, how is all this money being expended? Usha amount for whom employ a womb, calling them presidential staffers. The volumes of the people who are just some of a bit more office or tenancy as of Facebook and as of WhatsApp, just to respond to a mixed platform for once your platform be a mixed platform. And you won't prefer ya sheda among all the resources, ye thought data the mom. And some who say IMMA-ADIZA post here, then they counter. Some who say Dr. Lawrence post here, they counter. Just say Omono, they are just there to counter people and to make the government look good. And all these people are feeding fat on the exchequer. Eye Ghana Sikaso. And they have been giving him presidential staffers. Who to me who riff raff be. Now Yakacho, nobody checks his background. And one say he did to Amanu, ne Amanu card. Now Akacho say we national security. In fact, Anchebiana, you see, Yachi armed robbers via Yako Sechi Woma, na national security card during Yamashisho. And a lot of these things are possible. Sesia ya employer among for their shared national security, muya employee, Sesia no ye their true journalists nusu. Senebeya, a lot of them will keep quiet. Some of them wouldn't be very vocal. Ninkrofoso a yentimi temu omuno. Ubehuno na ye invite a benum wo police station. Say wakoka asema yenkanda. You see what is happening to their own Captain Smart in their cancam. So in some manner, we would expect, say, every pesewa that was spent during these Christmas festivities should be accounted for, including those Christmas trees. And I expect Parliament to take the lead. I'll be highly disappointed. Say, Bani said, your Parliament, I'm afraid people who are responsible in the purchase of that Christmas tree to come and give vivid account that is not submitted by mouth, but it is supported with receipts, genuine original receipts, and that receipt should be followed up and cross-checked. Uti de mekanasi na Nika enu to this end. NDC4, I hope they are taking note of Nyama air cost, the rot in the system, things that has gone so bad, corruption that has, happened under this rotten administration, they are taking good note of all of them. And when the time comes, when power, your name say power, no, and yeah, idea, it's now forever. People like the Saddam Husseins have had their reigns come to an end. The Mobutu Sese Seko's, the Idi Amin's, Colonel Gaddafi's, your friend is saying, Fidel Castro's. In fact, during the days of King Pharaoh, at one point in time, their kingdom came to an end. And if Nyamiya Adumna NDC, Eba Abaimwa, we have to call for accountability. MPP for worship, they need to account every person. Nyama Akosu, they need to account for them. Because yet means now, fire concession, which is ECG, and the PDS for to come and manage for over 6 months, collect, your friend is saying, Sika every amount for her by way of electricity tariffs. And up to now, all those monies have not been accounted for. We can also fall on the Accountant General's report and demand how in a year we have lost over 12 billion Ghana cedis. Who did what? How? And why? All these questions need to be answered. Failure for which there should be consequences. People think that they come into governance, amass wealth, and will not account to anybody whilst the people are suffering out there, whilst our roads are left unattended to, whilst our hospitals are deteriorating by the day, whilst our schools lack common textbooks, and so on and so forth. And the whole issue is Adibia Atos Sinibia, including Asemia Wabisami, a Christmas tree. We should demand accountability with all the seriousness that we can master. And I expect, say, Parliament, I trust that they can do a very good job, expose the corruption that is embedded in that Christmas tree. In fact, we need to dissect the Christmas tree to see what is in that Christmas tree that gives it such a high value. It's a trust that Christmas tree. IMMA-ADIZA because a biana gold need diamond. Maybe there are some precious minerals in that. A biana ye trust a Christmas tree no more. A biana a honor omni Jesus Christ. I cannot tell. That is why it has become so expensive. In fact, Christmas tree Pope no ebe jina ho Vatican no. I don't think it costs so much. And for me, dear,
Paula, do much with you. I say, or the counterfeit. Akoto we. Yaira the kukraka because it is sano. Na counterfeit hopa. Na kwebi police ekwache se oton. Omo tonton we. Na yankora no. The autumn we no star will be the counterfeit. Abetoni we. Ano di akwaniko police station. Here bisa say when you counterfeit no way. Ano or the quiet there or say or the beto we. I just see a calm mummy and in our shame. Paul, I don't watch radio. Young was some na. Next sister ni Mensa because omo kwan etimi fa one figure ma omo dane ne sa okojina ha no asesa na adwene osaba ha no asesa na adwene ti Paul I don't watch radio. Ni nua ba ene ye friend say Mensa ye EC a boss na oso onyina adakemu no sa ma me no iti no mefa akwanya we so ansa na obesa ato asem pa na machia matiefo meda obi ase empo na amabamabuo no matiefo ana mihu mu a me stay ye kan nti na medi kaka ase menye ebida iti meda poji ase meda ma Becky ase meda NDC France ase ana meda debia meka me se me backbone on say se meka ya na monte ase ene se me ho kire mi ana Dr. B aba enu nti na me fe me backbone no every so ye me futufo osan etwitwaje me akwaniansa nyina so nti no me de na me modi ti Uncle B if I to asoma me.
Yeah, Madiza. Say, there are a lot of people even from the outside, me who say Omubomodi contribute in one way or the other to make things happen. But like I've been saying always, nobody was born running. We struggle from the beginning. Balance we will try to stand up. We don't succeed most of the time in our first attempt. But it doesn't. We don't stay there. We still wake up, try to find the balance, and when the balance comes, we start working, and then eventually we run. And the beginning
Thank
you. In fact, some of us are even surprised the rate at which you are progressing. But keep your head up and stay positive.
That's
And Marisa, on that Christmas tree issues, Poladumo tree obia, and yes, Obitano. He is somebody who projects himself as being very, very critical analysis. He subjects every issue to scrutiny, and that is his style of journalism. And that scrutiny, he tries to bring in all angles. He tries to separate the fine grains from the bad grains and what have you. And one would have expected, say, having been given such an office, he will bring that his expertise to bear on the office that he has been appointed to. Senebeya, whatever he does, touch or say, he would have thought through carefully to ensure, say, it meets all standards. It meets the inspirations and I say, me who send a main canon for, but obey very tactical. Say, appointments are yet man. You have to navigate yourself through minefields because now we hear the wrong mover, it will be counterproductive. You step on a mine and there will be explosion. And be very tactical and see that every step, every decision you have to take, you think through and subject it to critical analysis. Who said you will not leave room for your critics to get back at you. Just Christmas, the amount, you have supervised Uko a Supreme Court Krana, you are not subjected. Yeah. Say your election related matters, say your corruption related matters, everything. He seemed to have the answers to all these things. And the office now, ye general view of how much Christmas trees or cost. There were small, medium, big size, public sized Christmas trees. When we visit the markets, how much are we selling those Christmas trees? So Poladumochi should come and tell us, say, where I bought my Christmas tree. Ebiana, it was imported from Bethlehem. Anna say Jerusalem. Anna say decorations a war. Ebiana, they are made of diamonds. Diamonds from Ebia, South Africa, and I say diamonds made from Akwitia. Omumbe country. Because we want to know what went into that Christmas tree. The price is mind blowing. Young bidder. So the whole thing has to do with the fact that that Christmas tree has been overpriced. It is way beyond reason. It is blowing our minds. We can't fathom why we should buy a Christmas tree at that price, and we are demanding full disclosure of where that Christmas tree was bought, when it was bought, from whom it was bought, who paid for that amount, where did they get that amount to finance that Christmas tree, and a whole lot of questions. And a simple issue. If that is not satisfied, there should be consequences. First, so one to me justify why he bought Christmas tree at that price. First thing first, they must kick him out of that position. He's not fit for purpose. He's not fit to be in that position.
And I say, Nana do amamu. See everyone abaso.
We are not angry enough. He says, COVID, Amreso. Sika Nanka, ye boy, a bukata. Onu nanado nankasano in the Amerideal. And yes, and Ghana was being short-changed $800 million just for nothing. But we were able to bring that to daylight. Ebanisano was I was misled. Australian visa scandal, up to now, they have not been able to tell us who went to the Australian embassy to procure visas for the fake journalists Omudi Omuko Australia. Are they telling us these things are not verifiable now? Yentimin Koshushe, one a bed or the passports by or visa. Are they trying to tell us we cannot bring the people bust contaminated oils, over 5 million liters of contaminated oil? Ya ton obedience kana guni botoma work on. we cannot investigate and bring those perpetrators to book. We cannot also investigate among for Omuton government contracts on Dombomi. We cannot arrest any of them. Yet Ubehu say Abainwe is so desperate, is so keen, say Oponi Yanko investigating. Alaji College Daughter, Yanko investigating. In fact, they are called Speaker of Parliament. They are so desperate to get some of the NDC appointees behind bars to just score a political point and say, exactly. Whereas within this administration, the rot that has gone on in this administration, you see a calm, yet they don't have the appetite, they don't have the political will, say they will subject it to vigorous investigation. And no because they will not prosecute one of their own. Kachom said the fight against corruption, the easiest way of fighting corruption is to go after your opponents. And no, any person, anybody can do that. Go after your own opponent. But if you do in-house cleaning, you look into your own house and make sure you fight the corruption within your own house, then certainly you'll be succeeding in fighting corruption nationwide, because you have the political will to fight one of your own. So Obia or your opponent, when you are going after them, nobody will come and accuse you of witch hunting. And I say, political scoring or whatever it is. And the can you say, this Christmas tree assembly will not let it die. We will ensure that it is investigated, it is placed under a very sensitive microscope to ensure, say, whoever has taken any penny that belongs to the good people of the Republic of Ghana is made to cough, to vomit, and to account to the good people of Ghana, because that money is not meant for private use. Omuntiminfa sa bronya biai and find organizing Christmas parties in their own house, because Ghanaians themselves
juicy appointment. It's on the demo pa. Paul na no. Yamano appointment.
And I say,
any a few
I didn't know a Busianchenfa, a bina ye won a Busianchenfa. They don't look at other families. Exactly. And see, Uberhua, where your friend is saying, senior minister, or no better me have a gymnasium piece work at or say, there is no vacancy at the public sector. Yet, only mammy no dear, Bakun Anya position as Senate, Bakunsu at NCA, National Communication Authority, Yama positions. One, but Omuno Beba catch or say, all these NAPO people, their lifespan has come to an end. So, God for us all. That is what they are being told. One, anti in Crawford way, Omu share see creating what they call Unemployed Graduates Association, Mama Mrenson, just to paint Mama black. And IMMA-ADIZA, they were say, and Unemployment Graduates Association. Graduates Association, they say, see, Kaya, Benya Bibri, in fact, on Bedos who political parties and Ghana. Because graduates are who are on Omuni Jumaye. In fact, Omankasa, Nansaya, Yesi, recruitment exercise, it came to the fore. Everybody saw the evidence of the unemployment situation in the country. And that was even just the tip of the iceberg. Because dodo na kra na anko. Yet omono ukoshe omu data sisia ombeka chiro the number of employment that they have created. Meanwhile, on the grounds, people are going around desperately looking for jobs. The jobs are just not available. What is consuming our youth, a lot of them are, or more modern say they will make a living. A lot of them end up on the streets, in the traffics, in the scorching sun, trying to make a living. Others have engaged in betting. They go to the places, Manchester versus Barcelona, they go and do the betting. Others engage in fraud activities. IMMA-ADIZA, say, Nami Yamumu Bina Momono, Abeto line so, and Timpacho, Distaff 419, a pressy BB. They don't have anything doing, so they find ways to dupe people. They find, unorthodox way of making living. Dodona, if there is avenue where some of these energies can be channeled, they wouldn't end up doing all this manner of armed robbery among our teeny youth. And the reality is that they should ensure they become financially disciplined. It will save the country some money, and that money can be channeled into productive ventures. Mama Woy, what did he do? There was a pay cut on all appointees, 10% pay cut. And now I will call around the country, any cheap compounder you see, it is out of this 10% pay cut, and nobody establishing all the cheap compounds you see across the country. Within these cheap compounds, you find certain nurses who are working in it. So that pay cut, it has created employment for somebody who is coming out of nursing training. And this is how you build a country. You become financially disciplined, save some money, and invest that money into a productive venture for the teeny youth who are coming out of schools year in and year out. But they have run out of ideas, they are clueless, and they don't know what they will do anymore, or that they know now. ASA, they will heap more taxes on Ghanaians to pay, and when the money comes, they use it for frivolous things which are highly unnecessary, that doesn't bring any productivity to the country.
First na ahomano bubu ni mu nti ama Uncle Benjamin free we ne so kakra yen ayanim Ghana de saa eja yebeji wa boarding so quality de da nti na ye import more goods edeba no Ghana made bia ni wa ye ni ye to yen ankasa ye satisfaction nti no mi hu Dr. Lawrence was so mehu no nti no doc medase say o share me any adofo bebre mesra mo sema amomudin a mehunu edi no aseba na ekọ enuntia ntia bre no aye bre nso so mehwese Uncle Ben betimi awremu anaja or the final word as aba so the final word ba na yede akogunti no mesa do ada adofo ase Paul G medase pa ewo de wo ye no nye kwa na oye niema bebre iti no Uncle Ben iti ode wano besie no wasamene apamaye no ti the floor is yours. Dr. B mi pa cha na to asomai.
IMMA-ADIZA me battery no wo critical low. Enti me di masem no eba ewiye no. Esese Ghana for eti asese MPP aban no omo sesia no omo apem. And some of the measures are almost MPP for a year in they are highly confused. Confused in the sense that even their own budget are only by budget in Ankasano.
Etiefo samotemenka wedi kan kase eye ne battery no nti owrem a yebema nanu asi na wenrem so a bebese meka kire etiefo nyina ma omote se ona Bernard Odro Techi enye se womma oba ye pa ema de wase ye bia no ye nti na de ye use no enye Facebook live anke use medium foforo da ewrem nti no ye ne no so anreheze ewo Facebook live mu na waye ready oda so ewo empoma na chi enye se o disappoint ye when disappoint ye owo so etiefo be kaya omo ana omo follow Waslina TV ne hu say ni e di different e bi na ye di be mu inti no medana se ese odi osie eye oyo na said ye meka no selfie tintan we die oka se ompene a ompene oka se obepene a obepene fi so obi anim say yesi eye tintan tina homa no ba kokra ti a enye adwuma inti no honorable OBT medase sawoje bre ye meeting ne bibia ankyere senko woma ko beba ama na broso no ote ho no nani ha adwuma oye good oye eloquent osaye good access to party awabewrem inti medie me follow no na mani gye ne ho oye obi obo ne ho modern inti oba se obeye adwuma no obekasa ama ne party na nsoso no afidintentan no ana ama ye kwan internet tiefo mo fanche ye ni ye behye da peda na honorable asamba me fe na honorable because oyo honorable ankasa kire say oyo obi a honorable din no ese fata no obo adwuma ankasa nipa a obre ni moja ni eye adwuma na me manage no afise me saa na metie me ntwen emie ntwia me kan asa na ma ye adwuma ne nkwa de minim se ma bre inti no mihuhu nipa bebre wo screen no so nanso mihu omu eyie inti me click ahwese minya din ne dia Dr. Lawrence ana Benjamin KPABITEY ana Bright Gabriel Suraju esoso ebai ana last one meshe last one so eye onwa eye a bright justice esuman esoso ebai chese enika meda etiefo ne ahwefo nyina ase odo amayi a kire me no nyankopon hyira mo na ontom nkwem ba bia mo yiska ede se madage de hwe me bia nyankopon edamase na every next week no se yetimi ye niema yie ehihye ye mfidie ni yie dia ye be hyase 6:30 efi said di obe susu afidie na maye no o mantem obeye ready 6:30 to 6:30 no na ye be nemum sie yusu Facebook live we ya dia ene na 6 o'clock na ye hwese said ye nkrofo wo epono na chi a onpeso omuram ebe ka de ehye omuboso ene de omuwo edema oman Ghana no enu ntini nyankopon eye yadom a ye de days ni bi ebe ka ho na ye nyanye papa efiada de ebeba abeka ho ne sa nti no ye pe adaba ako aka ho na ya ne normal nipa mienu ni the way a enkrofo pese omo ba so ni nti no ye nti na ye try other medium afeli ye nti no ye try dia ye beba ne double nti me da obi ase nyankopon ka obi a ho ye wada sene nokware ni aha nokware nko ne ye ka nti no me da Benjamin KPABITEY Uncle Ben nyankopon hira se debia to de edin a na wayi wuti me da obi bia wo hweye ase nyankopon hira NDC France me producer Ama Rosie me manager akwala nyame nyankopon hira obi bia ye woda se na ye frame IMMA-ADIZA Waslina Samo eno ani me din me real names ana mabono me da obi ase ye woda se ne nyankopon hira obi a mama bye.